Hi everyone! I am zoomed in close because I'm going to be working on 3LOOKS1 palette with the Oden's Hela palette, and I love how different it is from Club Nebula, and I feel like these two palettes could almost complement each other. My camera zoomed in pretty far though, so you just have to do with this, but you can actually see from here how different they are from each other. I don't think there's much overlap at all, and they complement each other really well. Now, I don't know what happened, and I'm gonna have to blame my medication for this, but long story short, I had an allergic reaction, tons of hives. I'm on medications to control it, but for some reason, no matter which foundation I picked, my skin makeup today just looks terrible. My skin is in terrible condition. I don't know what happened, but my foundation would not stick to it. Tons of flaking, tons of patchiness. I did what I could, but let's please ignore that and just focus on the eyeshadow. But yeah, just in case you guys were wondering, wow, skin looks terrible there. Yeah, that's why. My skin, I thought for a second my foundation had expired, so I washed my face off and put more on. Foundation's not the problem. There's something going on with my skin, so I'm just blaming my recent happenings. Let's focus on this beauty right here. So I'm going to start, I'm thinking of doing, for the first look, I'm going to do something pink and brown. I think is a lot of fun. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here, and I used the Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock today. My eyelids also though are not super great, so we'll see how the eyeshadow performs. If the eyeshadow seems kind of bad looking today, then I would say don't chalk it up to the eyeshadow because my skin definitely is gonna affect it. But I think my choice of eye primer should help kind of disguise that a little bit because Prime and Lock is pretty heavy duty, so that should help kind of conceal my skin problems. Yeah, very pretty though. Yeah, I think I was able to kind of conceal my eyelid troubles. The eyeshadow is going on really nicely. And then I want to go in with the shade here. I'm pretty sure all three of my looks are all going to be pretty crazy. This matte does build up very nicely to look true to pan. I have found some Oden's Eye palettes, which I don't have anymore. The mattes did not build true to pan. Like some of the first palettes I got from them back when they first kind of appeared on my radar, I do not have them anymore because I found the mattes to be very disappointing. This is definitely a step up from what the Oden's Eye I kind of first ever got exposure to. Because I know sometimes, I know some people do have some complaints about Oden's Eye formula, but it's mostly straightened out by now because I used to kind of be questionable about it too. That's why I didn't ultimately get the Norns collection, because I was worried the formula would kind of be like their old formula. I don't think I'm ever going to get it at this point because I have a lot of makeup, you know, but if they keep up with this, they have a loyal customer from now on. And now I'm just going back over with the pink. I also have noticed that a lot of Oden's Eyes palettes, the very vivid colors don't stain. I definitely feel spoiled because then I go back and use Menagerie Cosmetics and I like stain like crazy. Yeah, you can see I was able to blend out that edge really nicely. I'm going to take the leftover product and drop that on the outer corner of my lower lash line. I did buy this, by the way. It arrived pretty much like 2 days after I got back home, which was really nice. I know sometimes their shipping can be kind of slow. Yeah, that's looking good so far. Okay, let's replicate this on the other eye. It has a little bit of plumminess to it, so it works really well with this pink, which is also a very, very cool toned pink. My left eye oftentimes kind of has a messier shape. There we go. And now I'm going to go back in with the pink like I did on the other eye so that I don't completely lose it. Okay, so that's kind of the base matte pigments down. I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter pink. This would make for a really pretty blush. I'm going to take that and just kind of ever so slightly use this to kind of frame the upper part, kind of add like a base anchor color for this upper part. This allows me to really go higher up towards my brow bone. I don't have much lid space to work with, so I am also using this to kind of just blend out the edges a little bit more. Let me know if you prefer voiceover 3LOOKS1 palette or talk live 3LOOKS1 palette. I'm not sure which one I like better. So you can see I really pushed the eyeshadow up, and I'm also using this to smoke out the lower lash line a little bit as well. I kind of like this look of like kind of blowing out the outer corner with this kind of pink eyeshadow. I feel like it kind of gives off this like sickly effect. I need some shimmer in my life. So I'm going to, there's so many options. I'm gonna use this shade here. I'm wondering how this will work. This seems a little bit too orange. Like I feel like this particular color scheme here, there's not really a matching shimmer for this. Like there's no pinky shimmer, but I'm gonna try this. And I kind of wanted to try one of these two shades in the outer part. So I'm gonna take my finger. It's actually quite light, so I'm just gonna pop this in the inner corner. My nails are short right now, so I can pull it off that way. Yeah, I'm just gonna do an inner corner highlight actually, because now that I've swatched it, it's too light for what I wanted it for. Yeah, inner corner highlight, that's really pretty. I am 90% sure based on footage I saw that double-sided seems to be a very similar shift to Phoenix from Terra Moons. I will confirm for myself when I use it in my next looks. Okay, yeah, really pretty. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with complete, and I think what actually will work is if I use it and kind of go diagonally up, and I'm just using a flat brush. I didn't wet it because I'm lazy. And I'm gonna stamp it carefully close to my lash line, so we're kind of almost vertical gradient-ing this shadow. Trying to be very careful to not cause myself fallout because I'm using this dry, and I don't want to cover up that pink I worked so hard to put down. So you can see where I put it down. Actually, that is super pretty. I like that a lot. And then I'm gonna use my finger, a little more intensity right against my lash line. And by the way, the mattes gave me like no fallout at all. I was amazed. So it's kind of hidden when my eyes are open, but when I look down or when I blink, you can see that there's that flash of just gunmetal kind of metallic there, which is really cool. I am now gonna use the extra shimmer left over to just kind of pizzazz up the lower lash line. I'm not gonna like put on too much because I know whenever I put shimmer on the lower lash line, I'm just asking for like a ton of fallout. So I'm just gonna take what's left. And then I'm going to take the Hellfire shade here. I feel like this is a little bit peachy to be a Hellfire shade. This shimmer is actually pretty subtle compared to the normal kind of pale metallics of Oden's Eye. I apologize if parts of this video are out of focus. I'm still learning how to use this lens. I like this a lot. I'm gonna take Hellfire, and I think it will be good for me to kind of work it up into this area a little bit. Not like a super graphic element, like I'm not making it super graphic, but that little line right there I think adds it adds some structure that I think I really appreciate. Just adds a little bit of kind of structure since my eyelid is, you know, very flat. Okay, oh my gosh, I love this look. I outdid myself, so I'm gonna put on some lashes and we'll be right back. Oh, and I'm gonna finish up my face of makeup too. I think I like it a lot. Like, even though my skin makeup looks absolutely terrible, like it was so hard to put blush and highlight over this monstrosity, I still pulled it off. I think I rescued it. I think we look good. Because I'm talking in this video, one of the reasons I want to do more talky videos is because I get the chance to, I can tell you what's on the rest of my face because I do get questions. My lashes are Doe Lashes Morning Dew 2.0 specifically. I did want my waterline to be a little bit darker so that you couldn't see, it wouldn't distract from the look. So I did use the Nabla Cupid's Arrow in 5. For the blush, I used 2 Clinique Cheek Pops. I recently got Blush Pop Pale Pink right here. I used this all over. And then right underneath my eyes, I put on Berry Pop, which is this darker pink right here. That's that. And then for highlighter, I finally got my hands on Benefit Tickle. Somebody was selling the entire palette for like $20 on Reddit, and I was like, this is my chance. So I literally bought the entire palette and all I cared about was Tickle. So I used Tickle. And then for my nose, I used one of my newest favorites for like, this is like competing with Gold Sheer, I swear. And it is the Flower Nose Highlighter in Revelation. And then lastly, for the lip, which is the most important bit, I used the Roman Juicy Lasting Tint in Funky Melon. It looks like this right here. And the color, you can see the color matches the two. And you can see that it's the perfect pink for this look. I hope that was helpful. So now you guys know what's on my face. I will be moving on to the next look now. So you guys will see my bare face again and we'll do another look. Hey everyone! So I'm back for look 2. I did some research, and indeed the antihistamines are making my skin very dry and very flaky. Lucky for me, coincidentally, one of the Pixi Hello Kitty products I have is glycolic acid, so I've begun to use that, and so it's a little bit better today, but I still had to put on a very, very thin layer of foundation and concealer because there's some things that just can't be saved. Skin's not gonna look good for a couple of days because I'm still not done with my medication course yet, but small price to pay to not have hives. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. I used the Peiliee eye base today. I just wanted to see what happened. It's also a little bit more opaque than my other primers because I do want to dig into the greens. We'll see how this looks. Today I definitely really want to go and explore these colors. So I'm very, very excited. So I'm gonna first go in with Ouroboros, which is this shade right here. I do think I prefer going from dark to light. It lets the dark shadow really show up because sometimes if I have too many layers of mattes, it starts to kind of, you know, suck out the moisture from my eyelids and it makes everything look kind of not so great. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm also gonna go ahead and use this dark eyeshadow to plan the shape I want. This matte is a good matte. This is a really good shadow. This is a really good shadow. Oh my goodness. And I kind of want to do like a kind of a cut crease shape. Cut creases are not for my eye shape, but I still kind of want to do it. So I'm also using a very thin brush to kind of map where I want the matte to go. So it's kind of like if I had a crease, I'm just kind of going through it like that. And I want the eyeshadow, of course, to wing out gently. Looking really good. Oden's eye mattes can sometimes be a little bit on the powdery side, so, and then I'll take the excess and start my lower lash line shape. And again, I don't take it all the way in. Yeah, this is, oh my gosh, this is such a nice green. It's it has a little bit of blue in it, so it kind of evergreen vibe. But you can see how I'm framing the shape where I'm gonna put the shimmer down later. So again, that winged shape. So now I'm gonna switch over to my smaller brush. And I'm just following where my eyeball is. Like, I'm just following my physical anatomy. I'm not pulling this line out of nowhere. And that's like, that didn't take me that long at all. I'm just amazed. Wow, okay. This is like the most blue green. Everything else is very yellow green, so it's kind of awkward to match these, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna use this color here, and I'm going to kind of just fill in the front, and this is gonna be what the shimmer will lay on top of later. Very easy to work with. And the two colors do, yeah, this meshes together pretty well. So I'm also gonna go ahead and kind of darken the line as I go. It's getting a little bit lost. So now that that's been laid down, I am gonna go ahead and I think a little bit of some kind of eyeshadow base is gonna help me decide where this goes, because I do want to make sure I lay it down in a pretty precise area. So I'm just gonna take some NYX glitter glue. You definitely want to be careful with how much you put on. You really don't need very much. I'm making sure I keep it right below that line I set down earlier for myself. And then I'm gonna just put any excess amount on my lower lash line. I'm gonna use this one here, and then I'm gonna use this one up here. So it comes off as a very true bright green, and I'm just gonna put this on the outer part. And I'm not trying to like be super precise, like to a level of like a true cut crease, but I am wanting to keep this underneath the line I drew for myself earlier. And it sticks on nicely to my glitter glue. And then I'm gonna use my finger to amp it up a little bit. This shimmer feels a little bit kind of more powdery and less shiny smooth. Like Oden's eye kind of has like two metallics. There's this one, which is a little bit more kind of standard feeling, and then they have like the super smooth, super foiled one. I wish all their metallics were the super smooth, super foiled one, but that's alright. This is still very pretty. Okay, and then I just wiped off the same brush, so now I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is called Florasis, and this is gonna go on the inner part. This feels a lot smoother. So I laid that down, so now I'm gonna go ahead and work on the lower lash line, which is, you know, very simple. I'm just using the exact same shade. Yep, there we go. This is not complicated, you guys. This is very easy. I am going to use my finger just to kind of make sure it's super, super intense. I always, even if I use a brush, I always still want to like kind of touch up with my finger. Just make sure everything is as intense as I want it. So now I'm just going to go back into that dark green that I was using first, and I'm just going to kind of touch up everything, make sure it's nice and dark. Just kind of make sure everything is the way I like it on the outer corner. And then lastly, I'm gonna go over the line. So I'm really making it look more cut creasy now. But yeah, this is why I don't really do cut crease shapes often, like at all. I'm not good at them. It's not my forte. I feel like monolids just add an extra layer of difficulty. And then I kind of do want to like blend it out, but I also don't want to lose the green. So I'm just gonna go into Rebirth here, and I'm just gonna use a little bit of it just to kind of make sure everything's nice and diffused above the line. I'm hoping that this doesn't introduce too much like orangeness, but I just want to make sure it's nice and blended out up top here. Okay, yeah, that didn't change too much. Alright, and then I'm gonna go into Moss, and I'm just going to use that to kind of smoke out the lower lash line ever so slightly. I'm really considering getting some of the stuff from Lowest Cosmetics. Let me know if you guys are interested. They have Meet Me in the Underworld, and then of course there's Meet Me at Midnight. I was gonna get Meet Me in the Underworld last year, but that just never ended up happening. Considering getting both now. I really want to try that brand. Okay, so that's what it's looking like now. I feel like I wish it was darker in the outer corner. That's kind of my only problem, but I don't really want to use soot because I don't want to introduce any other colors. I need a black, which I like never say that, but I do think I need a black. And I will keep things consistent. I'm gonna pull my black from the Giant Wolves palette, Annihilation. And I'm just gonna use this black to introduce a little bit of depth. Yeah, it just makes it much, much darker, which I prefer. I do wish I could do a clean cut crease, but you know, we do our best around here. I'm gonna put on some lashes, I'm gonna finish off my makeup, and I'll be back. This is the finished look, and I am in love with it. I think the lips, of course, really make this look. So I kind of really leaned into the green by making my lips, again, really pink. Drugstore lips are killing it lately. Like usually I just kind of walk right past, don't even look, but now there are so many lipstick lines that I've noticed that I just want to walk through and grab one of every single shade. Like I wish I had that kind of money and that kind of space. So the first thing I did was I lined my lips with a kind of cooler pink light colored lip liner. I just used one from Buxom. I have another Buxom lip liner on the way from their newer range, and I'm like super excited for that. But then I used This Is Juice Gloss from NYX, and this is in the shade Pomegranate Clout. So then I went over it with the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Summer Fruit, and oh my god, you guys, this is a perfect lip gloss shade for me. I am so in love with this. They had a bright orange one, but it was out of stock, so I'm gonna see if it restocks. But Drugstore's killing it. I love this. This lip is so glossy and so beautiful. It's such a beautiful gradient, so pink. I am wearing doe lashes. I think it's Soft Bloom. It's definitely version 1.0, which, so I don't know if you can get them anymore, but yeah, I did darken my waterline as usual with Nabla's Cupid Arrow. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope you guys will enjoy. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. And yeah, on to the third look. I have been exfoliating my skin a lot. I've been trying my best to keep the flaking at bay, but like, I'm not even joking. I step out of the shower and I dry my arm and my arm skin is flaking. It's so annoying, but that was regardless. So all I did for my complexion was I used a liquid concealer and I just patted it very gently so as not to aggravate any flaking, and then I went over it all with my Urban Decay powder foundation to just kind of mask all that texture and smooth my skin out as best I could, along with a lot of setting spray, and I think it looks looks alright. So I think I have a good working method until my skin gets back to normal. It sucks that I can't do my base the way I want to, but this is what we're stuck with. But yeah, so I really want to actually feature double-sided. I've actually not used this shade at all, and I know this is the signature multi-chrome that a lot of people have really wanted to see. So I'm gonna use this, and I also really want to focus on these more sickly mustardy tones. I am actually going to first go in with Golden Bridge because I use the Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock, so my lids are nice and tacky. So I actually want to see what happens if I go in with a metallic first and then use a matte over it to like kind of, you know, blend and touch up. So I'm gonna put this all over my eyelid with a finger. So I'm just gonna lay this down as the base shade, and I'm gonna go over it with the mattes. And I'm not taking it all the way to the inner corner, and I'm not taking it all the way to the outer corner, but I am still taking it pretty far. My finger is not like super precise or anything. The metallics in this palette overall are not impressing me as much as the metallics in the previous Legendary Diversa trio. They do not seem as foiled. Yeah, I'm so far finding that they feel very typical, kind of just a step above ColourPop. I am also going to put it on my lower lash line too. Do not have a finger small enough for that, but I just wanted to see what happened. I'm just experimenting with my eyeshadow application methods. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. This is going in the outer corner. And so again, this look is not gonna be as deep as the previous looks have been, but I'm just gonna layer this right on top. The mattes in this palette definitely are kind of my most standout parts of the palette for me. I find these mattes are really pretty. This matte mustard, for example, it's opaque, it's not chalky, it's not super powdery, it's not like a bad mustard, of which plenty of those abound. Yeah, okay, and then I do want to take, gonna take Underworld, and I'm gonna run that over everything. You can see it kind of adds that brightness above the shimmer. I'm actually going to go into River first. I do think I could use a little bit of depth, so I'm just going to use River. I don't know, it feels very duochrome-y to me. Yeah, it feels more like a translucent duochrome, so actually I'm just going to kind of pop it on the outer part to kind of add some pizzazz. Yeah, this is a lot kind of more like what I expected from Oden's eye. This is definitely like more my speed. And now I'm kind of regretting not using this as its own shadow. So I'm gonna go in with double-sided now here, and I'm gonna put this on the inner half. It feels way better than all the other shimmers. It just feels creamier. I could tell immediately on my finger that this is gonna be far more impactful. So River and double-sided are definitely kind of the best shimmers in this palette. Now using it, I definitely agree, super close to Phoenix from Terra Moons. I will swatch that shade for you guys. Definitely gives off just such an interesting appearance. There we go. See, that's like, this is what I was expecting, and I am gonna go ahead and take more River. I'm not really a super big fan of Golden Bridge, so I'm just gonna take more River, and I'm just gonna kind of cover up everything. I'm just gonna use River and double-sided to rescue this look. River is a little bit textured, so if you're gonna use a brush, I would say do have some extra glitter glue packing. Okay, so I used way more River, and now it's like looks way better. And then I'm going to take double-sided on the lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take River, and I'm gonna just use that on the lower lash line too. So now I'm going to go into Decay. I'm just gonna add a little bit of depth. I kind of want to just do like a quick shadow liner thing. I just want to make sure I have a little bit of structure. So I just want to do a quick eyeliner. So yeah, I just had just some liner. Okay, so you can see that I just added a little bit of structure by just adding some eyeliner. It's not complicated and I literally just drew the tails. I can tell that while swatching, the Terra Moons one is far more thick and smooth and creamy, and it has a lot more kind of substance to it, which means that it is far more just opaque, so you can see the shift a lot more. So the top one here is going to be double-sided. And you can see as I turn my hand how you can see the shift, but it's not as dramatic, and the blue shift in particular is very hard to make out, so it reads just very, very orange, very fiery. Whereas Phoenix, which is on the bottom here, you can see a very clear shift from blue to orange and back. So that's gonna be me swatching these two shades, and I like to swatch multi-chromes kind of on the side of my palm so you can see the reflectiveness over the curve of my hand. And also because these two shadows have such a different substance to them, I wanted you guys to see the thickness by seeing how these shadows act on the creases of my hands. And I think you can really tell by my fingers. I gave each swatch 2 passes, and you can see just how much more shadow comes onto my finger with Terra Moons than with double-sided. Now, I will say double-sided is in a palette. Terra Moons Phoenix is a pretty pricey single, so you are getting what you pay for absolutely with both of these. So I can't say one is better than the other because one is much more expensive than the other. If all you want in this palette, if the most exciting shade for you was double-sided, get Phoenix. But if you like the entire palette, double-sided is a wonderful multi-chrome inside this palette. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope that comparison helped. So that's gonna be this look. So I'm gonna finish it off camera. I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. This is the finished look. I tried something with the lashes and it did not go as well as I expected. I'm really trying to practice individuals because I really want to do a Douyin inspired makeup tutorial, but I don't think individuals and monolids get along just because of the fact that my monolids are pushing down on these individuals. So I feel like the lashes are kind of a fail, which is a shame, but we will overlook that in favor of everything else that's on my face. So let's just pretend the lashes look okay. I found overall that the Hela palette did not live up to my hype, which breaks my heart to say because the colors are beautiful. I just think the formula for the shimmers is not what I expected. So I still really enjoyed it. I just can't say I like it more than the other 3. I still think I like Giant Wolves the most. I used a mix of the Pastel Cushion Ginger Beige highlight from, I'm like pretty sure it's the Face Shop. It's just the cardboard packaging. It's kind of like a more pastel version of California Love. Very pretty. I used that. I feel like this palette goes the best with beige blushes, especially these mustard greens. I never know what blush color to wear with these, so any suggestions are appreciated. Whenever I have a mustardy look on my face, I always end up wearing a beigeier blush. So I used that, and I didn't feel like it had that much impact. So then on top of that, right underneath my eyes, I intensified it using Gravity from the Lunar Beauty blush palette, which it's pretty. And so that's the blush. And then I used Hoola Glow as my bronzer. I've been having a Hoola Glow kick lately, really love it. For highlighter, I used Ray Rider from Kaleidos, yellow toned highlighter. Matches the look. It has that translucent base that I love. So that's gonna be the cheeks. And then for the lips, I lined my lips first with a nudie tone lip liner, and then I mixed NYX, this is Milky Gloss in, it's on the bottom. I mixed it with Moody Peach. So it's gonna be this color here. Now I swatched this in store on the back of my hand. I swatched a tester and it looked a lot better on the back of my hand than on my lips. So I don't know how much I can recommend this. I was really expecting it to have that milky look on my hand that it had on my lips, but not really. However, I noticed when mixed with Roman Juicy Lasting Tint in Dark Coconut, which is a brown toned water tint from Korea. I know, so strange, but their winter collection was so good. So this is a beautiful brown tone tint, and as you can see, when I mixed it with this, I got that milky brown color that I think is my new favorite shade of brown lipstick. So there we go. I think this is going to be a gloss I use to mix with things. It is not sticky like the butter gloss is. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed 3 looks. I think that's going to be it from me. Long video, I know, but let me know if you guys prefer voiceover or talk through 3 looks 1 palette. Definitely let me know. I'm totally open to doing a mix or just doing one or the other. So you just tell me. I'll do what you want. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.